What is up, YouTube? My name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka Wakanda Snatch One, because I got playing around. As you can tell by the title of my thumbnail and the video itself, this is my WWE NXT review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please give this video 30 likes. Full watch the video from all the way from the beginning all towards the end. Hit that follow my social media down below in the description. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and thank you guys so much for getting my 10K back on YouTube, because I really needed that for all the love and support. And go check out my WWE Raw review and highlights when Judgment Day turns on Finn Balor. Go watch my WWE Raw review and highlights I did on the channel yesterday. All right, it says welcome to wrestling results for WWE NXT on March 10th. 2026, coming to you live from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Miles Bourne became the new North America Championship on February 24th episode of NXT, when he dethroned Ethan Page and fended off the likes of Vanity Project and Ricky Saints with some help from Shallow Hill, Hank Walker, and Tank Leggers. Ricky Saints then challenged Joe Hendry for his NXT Championship at Vengeance Day, and all through Ethan Page's attempt to aid Ricky Saints, a miscommunication between the pair lead to Joe Hendry retaining his title. Follow such events. Joe Hendry and Miles Bourne will be joining forces with one another to take on Ricky Saints and Ethan Page. We are live. The show kicks off with a video recapping the events of NXT Vengeance Day on Saturday. NXT Vengeance Day was a good pay-per-view, and I give that show a 7 out of 10 as well. But anyway, Vic Joseph and Booker T then greet audience at home, and as Tatum Paxley make her way to the ring. Alright, so we hear from Tatum Paxley. This was a pretty good segment by Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dane. Tatum Paxley says she's the new Women's North American Champion. Then says for the longest time, she felt like she was doing everything wrong. She said that she begged for acceptance, and says she wondered if she would be a little less Tatum Paxley. Then says she now holds the Women's North American Championship because of the fans rather than the calling. She says she finally has confidence that she belongs. Then says while she won the NXT Women's Championship for the calling, she won the Women's North American Championship for herself. Izzy Dane makes her way out and says it must been the best day of Tatum Paxley's life when she dethroned her as Women's North American Champion. She throws a video of Tatum Paxley's early days in NXT before she found herself. Then says she would find it inspiring how Tatum Paxley has changed if she had actually changed. She says Tatum Paxley is still the same outcast as she was walking into NXT. Then says everyone will see what she does. Tatum Paxley forever being desperate to fit in. She says she wants her Women's North American Championship back. Shawn Spears and Nika Vance sneaks up behind Tatum Paxley, opening the door for Izzy Dane to land a big boot and a powerbomb on Tatum Paxley. She holds up the Women's North American Championship belt and stands tall over Tatum Paxley. Now this was a good segment between Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dane, but Tatum Paxley needs her own stablemate. She needs her own stablemate. Her own stable. I don't know why I say stablemate, but her own stable. That's all I gotta say. Jasper Troy then makes his way to the ring. Eli Knight and Sean Legacy both followed. So we get the triple threat match: Jasper Troy versus Sean Legacy. Yeah, so we get the triple threat match. So we get Jasper Troy versus Sean Legacy versus Eli Knight in a triple threat match. And this triple threat match, it wasn't bad. It was just I might as well say it was just okay triple threat. This match was okay match for what it was, but the outcome had me confused. The bell rings and Eli Knight hops on Jasper Troy's spine. Jasper Troy fends off Eli Knight, but Shawn Legacy then hops on Jasper Troy's spine. Jasper Troy fights him off as well and chokeslams Eli Knight on the top of Legacy. Then Shawn Legacy then stomps on Shawn Legacy's face. Shawn Legacy and Eli Knight then sends Jasper Troy crashing out of the ring with a double super kick to him before Eli Knight fires off right hands on Shawn Legacy in the corner. Canoe Carver's blindside Jasper Troy from behind on the outside and chokeslams him through the announcer desk. Canoe Carver gets in Booker T's face and stares him down as Eli Knight fires off a pair of chops on Shawn Legacy's chest during the commercial break. He delivers a body slam to Shawn Legacy as Jasper Troy is being checked on by several referees. Shawn Legacy trips Eli Knight in the ring and lands an overhand chop on Eli Knight, but Eli Knight sends Shawn Legacy crashing into the top turnbuckle face first and lands a shotgun dropkick on him. Eli Knight sends Shawn Legacy crashing out of the ring with a dropkick off the ropes. Then levels him with a crossbody on the outside back from the break. Eli Knight lands a moonsault on Shawn Legacy and pins him, but Shawn Legacy kicks out. And Shawn Legacy kicks out and sends Eli Knight crashing into the mat with a Falcon Arrow. He goes for a pin, but Eli Knight kicks out. Jasper Troy managed to reteeter the ring and sends Shawn Legacy crashing into the mat. Then chokes him Eli Knight up on top of Shawn Legacy and sends Eli Knight crashing into Shawn Legacy. He then gets both Shawn Legacy and Eli Knight up on his shoulders and delivers a double Samoan drop to them before he delivers another chokeslam to Eli Knight and pins him. It says Shawn Legacy breaks the fall with a double stomp to Jasper Troy's spine, then delivers a 450 splash to him off the ropes. Eli Knight then lands a moonsault on Jasper Troy off the middle rope and pins Jasper Troy at the same time that Shawn Legacy does. The referee decides that both men are the winners of this match. The winner of the match, Eli Knight and Shawn Legacy. There could only be one winner in that triple threat match. The outcome was just confused. So in my opinion, Eli Knight won this match, but they gave it to Eli Knight and Shawn Legacy, which is so stupid. Like, why would you have two superstars pin Jasper Troy and declare Eli Knight and Shawn Legacy the winner? It could only be one winner. That's it. But anyway, we then head backstage where Tatum Pasley is looking for EC Dame. She encounters Shiloh Hill and the pair take off together to look for EC Dame. Charlie Dempsey and Tavion Heights then make their way to the ring. Birthright follows. Alright. So, we get the tag team match right here. Charlie Dempsey and Tavion Heights versus Birthright, accompanied by Ariana Grace and Stacks. The Knockouts Championship looks horrible on Ariana Grace, and that's all I got to say from here. In this tag team match, this was a decent match, but the outcome, I did not see it coming. So, you have Charlie Dempsey turn on Tavion Heights to join the Birthright. And what I saw was Finley and William Regal were just standing there watching. But this was a decent tag team match. Charlie Dempsey and Yura Connors begin the action. The bell rings and the two lock up. Tavion Heights and Lexis King tag in. And Tavion Heights sends Lexis King crashing into the mat with a gorilla press. With the gorilla press. Charlie Dempsey tags back in and pins Lexis King, but Lexis King kicks out and tags Yura Connors back in. Yura Connors rains down right hands on Charlie Dempsey, but Charlie Dempsey sends Yura Connors crashing into the mat with a slam. Tavion Heights then tags back in and runs over Yura Connors with a choke slam before he lands a belly to belly slam throw on him and delivers a belly to belly suplex on him. Alright. It says Yura Connors sends Charlie Dempsey and interfering Tavion Heights crashing out of the ring. Charlie Dempsey fires off knees on Lexis King's midsection and dumps him back in the ring, as Tavion Heights does the same to Yura Connors. Charlie Dempsey hugs Tavion Heights, but William Regal and Fit family appears on the entrance ramp. Charlie Dempsey blindsides Tavion Heights with a suplex, and Yurakondas runs him over with a Shining Wizard. Back inside the ring, Lexis King then tags back in and delivers a coronation to Tavion Heights for the win. The winner of the match, Birthright. The way that I see that Charlie Dempsey turned on Tavion Heights. So Tavion Heights, you better go get your get back on Charlie Dempsey for what just happened tonight. Now I remember when Judgment Day turned on Finn Balor last night on Monday Night Raw. The same thing that the Judgment Day turned on Adam Copeland in 2022, and then 2024 it was Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. It was the Judgment Day turned on Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, and then yesterday on Monday Night Raw, the Judgment Day turned on Finn Balor. I remember that. So Tavion Heights, you better go get your get back on Charlie Dempsey, and that's all I gotta say. All right, it says after the match, Charlie Dempsey slides in the ring and fist bumps Connors, become the newest member of Birthright. Alright, we then head outside the Performance Center where the call-in finds their car beeping loudly and sat on cinder blocks with its tires removed. Robert Stone finds Shallow Hill, who reveals that it was his doing. Back at ringside, Tony D'Angelo makes his way to the ring. Alright, we hear from Tony D'Angelo. This was a pretty good promo by Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo says he's told the fans that he came back for two reasons: to take out Dark State, which he did at Vengeance Day, and a second mystery reason. He says he went to war with Dion Lennox on Saturday and left Dark State empty and searching for answers. Now, don't get me wrong. Tony D'Angelo has done everything on NXT. Y'all should have had Tony D'Angelo on the main roster, which he can join Monday Night Raw, because Tony D'Angelo fit well on Monday Night Raw, but he chose to stay on NXT. But it is what it is. Can't do nothing about it but accept it. Alright, it says Tony D'Angelo says he's considered his future during his absence from NXT, and then says he looked in the mirror and had to be honest. He says the one thing that he couldn't accomplish was becoming NXT champion, which was his second reason for coming back to NXT. He addressed Joe Hendry and says if things were a year ago, he will invite Joe Hendry to a sit down, and he says that's not him anymore. He plans on breaking Joe Hendry's face. Then says while he would love to say it's just business, it's just personal, he says he will not be denied and says he'll be the NXT championship. So Tony D'Angelo is coming for Joe Hendry for the NXT champion, and the NXT champion will look good on Tony D'Angelo. So that's all I gotta say. But I hope they do that match at some type of pay-per-view. I hope they do that match at NXT Stand and Deliver. I would love to see that. Fatal Influence then makes their way to the ring. Soruka follows. Alright, so we get the next match. So we get Soruka versus Laney Reed, accompanied by Fatal Influence. And this match right here, this was a squash match in my opinion. The bell rings and the two lock up. They take turns locking in submission holds on one another. But Soruka serves on Laney Reed's spine. Laney Reed regroups with Jesse Jane and following Henley briefly, then trips Soruka and runs her over with a shoulder tackle. During the commercial break, Laney Reed delivers an uppercut and a step up knee to Soruka. She jams her knee into the back of Soruka's neck, and then pair exchange right hands with one another. Back from the break, Soruka lands a boot on Laney Reed's midsection, but Laney Reed sends Soruka crashing into the mat with a sit-out powerbomb and goes for a pin, but Soruka kicks out. Soruka catches Laney Reed with a super kick and sets up for a soul snatcher, but Laney Reed moves out of the way and sends Soruka crashing into the mat, face first. She follows it up with a perfect bump and set up for a running knee strike on Saruka. But Saruka catches Lana Reed with a soul snatcher for the win. I love that soul snatcher by Saruka. But anyway, the winner of the match, Saruka. Alright. We then head over to Robert Stone's office where Elio Lee Flair makes a case for Eli Knight and Shawn Legacy to get a shot at his WWE Speed Championship. Vanity Project interrupts the meeting, and Shawn Legacy tells Robert Stone to momentarily put a pin in himself and Eli Knight Speed Championship quest to face Vanity Project. Alright, back at ringside, Win Sinclair make their way to the ring, and Dead Hell follows. Alright, so we get the next match. Win Sinclair versus Dead Hell in a final match for the WWE Women's Speed Championship No. 1 Contenders Tournament. And this match right here, squash match. This was another squash match that I didn't not really care about. The bell rings as 3 minutes time limit begins, and when Sinclair gets Dead Hell up on her shoulders, she sends her crashing into the mat and lands a shoulder attack on Dead Hell. But Dead Hell lands a toe suicide on Win Sinclair on the outside as the clock passes 2 minutes. Dead Hell extends to the top rope and looks to land a crossbody on Win Sinclair. But Win Sinclair moves out of the way and rolls Dead Hell up. Dead Hell kicks out and clinches in a Kimura lock on Win Sinclair, but Win Sinclair transitions into a reverse chicken wing and Dead Hell taps out. The winner in your new No. 1 Contender match, the winner in your new No. 1 Contender, Win Sinclair. This was another squash match. What it was. We then head over to Robert Stone's office, where he informs several tag teams that he created a tournament to determine who will challenge Vanity Project for the NXT Tag Team Championships at NXT Stand and Deliver on April 4th. And y'all better put the NXT Tag Team Champions around OTM. It's now or never. And that's all I gotta say. We then head outside to Performance Center, where security holds Easy Dame and Tatum Paxley apart. Robert Stone informs Easy Dame that she will be challenging Tatum Paxley for the Women's North America Championship in a steel cage match next week. Back at ringside, Ricky Saints and Ethan Page make their way out. Joe Hendry and Miles Bourne follows. So we get the main event of the evening. So we get the tag team match: Joe Hendry and Miles Bourne versus Ricky Saints and Ethan Page. And this tag team match right here, this was a solid main event match for what it was. Alright. Joe Hendry and Ricky Saints begin the action. The bell rings and the two lock up. Joe Hendry levels Ricky Saints with a shoulder tackle, then lands an arm drag on him and interfering Ethan Page. Miles Bourne then tags in and sends Ricky Saints crashing into the mat, then goes for a pin, but Ricky Saints kicks out. Ricky Saints lands a back suplex on Miles Bourne, but Ethan Page tags back in and fires off shoulders on Miles Bourne midsection. Miles Bourne fires off right hands on Ethan Page midsection, but Ethan Page runs over Miles Bourne with a boot and calls for Ricky Saints to slide him the North American Championship belt. Ricky Saints slides it in the ring, but seemingly internationally slides it right past Ethan Page and out of the other side of the ring after their miscommunication at Vengeance Day. During the commercial break, Ricky Saints tags in and lands an elbow drop on Miles Bourne. He walks to the ropes Michael Jackson style and lands old school on Miles Bourne, then strikes his signature pose in the middle of the ring. Ethan Page then tags back in and lands a body slam on Miles Bourne before Ricky Saints tags back in and lands a springboard splash on Miles Bourne. Ethan Page tags back in, but Miles Bourne sends himself and Ricky Saints crashing into another back from the break. Joe Hendry looks to tag in, but Ricky Saints pulls him off the apron before Miles Bourne can tag out to him. Ethan Page then blindsides Miles Borne from behind, and Ricky Saints tags in Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints used Ethan Page as a launch pad to land a tornado DDT on Miles Borne. He goes for a pin, but Miles Borne kicks out. Ethan Page tags back in, but Ricky Saints lands a superplex on Miles Borne off the top rope, and Ethan Page follows it up with a frog splash to him. He goes for a pin, but Miles Borne kicks out. Joe Hendry tags in and sends Ethan Page crashing into the mat, then lands an angle slam on Ricky Saints and goes for a pin. Ricky Saints kicks out and lands a spear on Joe Hendry. But on break noise to him, Ethan Page has tagged in. Ricky Saints and Ethan Page argue over who the legal man in the match is, but Miles Borne begins arguing with the referee. Ethan Page takes advantage and lands a twisted grin on Joe Hendry on the top of the NXT belt. He then pins him for the win. The winner of the match, Ricky Saints and Ethan Page. This was a solid tag team match for what it was. And NXT, WWE NXT goes out there. But let me address something before I give my honest opinion. Alright, it says now WWE NXT was an average show, and I give it a 4 out of 10. You mean to tell me that the general manager of NXT, Robert Stone, booked a triple threat match between Jesse James, Saruka, and Zarya next week on Tuesday? Why not do it at NXT Stand and Deliver? Easy, simple booking. You can have a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT Stand and Deliver before, right? Yeah, you can have a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT Stand and Deliver with Saruka, Zarya, and Jesse James, where Jesse James might drop the title at NXT Stand and Deliver. So why would you book a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship on next week Tuesday on NXT, knowing that you can book it at NXT Stand and Deliver? It's easy, simple booking. So you already know that Jesse James gonna retain next week. You saw Jesse James had an NXT Championship last week against Saruka, and then Zarya turned on Saruka, and that's about it. But anyway, if I was the general manager for NXT, I would book Jesse James, Zarya, and Saruka for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT Stand and Deliver. Easy, simple booking. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE NXT review on highlights, make sure you guys please watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning on towards the end. Get this video 30 likes. Like and subscribe. Comment down below what you guys think of WWE NXT, because I'm on the road to 11K before the end of April. Follow all my social media down below in the description, and go check out my WWE Raw review on highlights that I do on the channel with Judgment Day turns on Finn Balor. I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. And I will see you guys tomorrow for my AEW Dynamite review on highlights. I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And I'll see you guys on my upcoming world premiere for my WWE NXT review on highlights at around 5 o'clock a.m. right here on YouTube. That's all I gotta say. So stay too sweet, and I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang.